Staying with the subject of dangerous dogs, the RSPCA has commended the Victorian Government on the introduction of those laws to protect people from dogs deemed to be dangerous.
Under the new laws, dangerous dogs can be seized and destroyed and their owners could face jail. Maria Mercurio is the CEO of the RSPCA and she joins us now in the studio. Welcome to the program, Maria.
Thank you, Sarah.
Just to start with, what breeds does the term dangerous dogs cover? And when we see an attack like yesterday, does that mean that the list just gets added to with each new attack?
Well, let me just say that any dog can be a dangerous dog. So a dog can be declared dangerous because of its behaviour. The new laws are really targeting a particular breed, pit bulls, and now expanding that definition, if you like, to include pit bull crosses as well.
And that's quite a murky area. How do you tell?
It is a very murky area, and that's part of the difficulty that the RSPCA has with the new laws that have been announced. It is very difficult to determine with any certainty the breed of a dog, particularly when we're talking about crossbreeds. Experts today find a lot of difficulty, making a definitive decision about the actual breed of a dog. So that's certainly our concern. What will the laws cover? How will people determine what the breed is, and who will do that determination?
But again, people look back to what happened yesterday in Sydney and tragically what happened in Melbourne to that 4-year-old girl last week and say, why not? Let's just go ahead. These laws are terrific.
Well, there's some merit to the laws. The governments are there to protect their communities. Absolutely agree with that. And again, we commend the government for taking some action to try and protect the community. But I use the example of the attack in Sydney overnight. That would not have been, I'm assuming, a declared dangerous dog. It's a Rottweiler. I don't know the circumstances, but I would question whether or not the dog was well socialized, had it been properly trained. It would seem, because it attacked, I think, the girl next door, that it wasn't properly contained. All of those are important issues that we need to understand.
So you really think it's the deed, not the breed?
We do.
Not the way pit bulls are bred?
Well, there are certain breeds that have a tendency towards aggression. That's absolutely true, and we would put pit bulls into that category. But it's more important to focus on how those dogs are kept. Are they well socialized? Have they been properly trained? Why would a family choose a pit bull, for example? Is that the right pet for that household?
So
understanding the breed. That's a good question.
Should they be banned?
Well, they are a dangerous breed. They are banned from being imported.
They're dangerous, they're aggressive, just ban them. What is wrong with that?
There's some merit to that. But not all pit bulls are dangerous. Not all Rottweilers are dangerous. Not all Chihuahuas are dangerous. Not all German Shepherds are dangerous. It depends how they're trained and how they're kept.
We're getting a lot of emails and comments from our viewers today talking about how the owners should be held more accountable. What do you think of the new laws in the pipeline for Victoria that would penalise owners akin to, say, dangerous driving laws?
Yeah, well, I think there's merit in that. I think owners need to be held accountable. What we'd like to see, though, is the government to also focus on some positive reinforcement for good behaviour, some incentives for people to train their dogs, and that might be subsidised training, it might be reduced registration fees with local governments, some positive reinforcement for good behaviour rather than just punishment for the wrong behaviour.
And also, on the other end of the spectrum, should the government be considering much tougher fines for owners of dogs who kill or seriously maim? Tougher fines or indeed longer jail sentences? I'm
not sure about that. I think we need the carrot and the stick approach, as I say. Again, we would like to see a lot more emphasis on the positive aspects of responsible dog ownership.
What are you hearing from dog owners? I would understand if there was a bit of concern from some people who had breeds that resembled dangerous breeds at the moment.
We're hearing quite a lot from dog owners. We've had, I would probably say, dozens of calls rather than hundreds of calls, but dozens of calls over the last 2 or 3 days from people really concerned about the dogs that they own. Will someone, characterize them as pit bulls? Will someone think that they're dangerous? What should they do? So there's quite a lot of fear, I suppose, in the dog owning community right now. And we need to see how these laws will play out.
Looking at the RSPCA, you obviously take in a lot of stray dogs. People come to you to get dogs. How many people, families or otherwise, come through your doors and say, where's the pit bull cage? I want a pit bull.
Well, thankfully not very many. There's certainly a minority of people that come looking for dogs.
So what happens to those dogs when they get brought into the RSPCA?
Well, if they're identified as a pit bull, they have to be euthanized, so they wouldn't be rehomed.
All right, well, thanks very much for coming in this morning. I'm sure we'll be discussing this issue at length throughout the program this morning. Maria Mercurio, thank you.
Thank you, Maria.